Robert Kelly, who's a professor in the Department of Political Science and Diplomacy at South Korea's Pusan National University, and he joins us now from Busan. Well, thank you very much for joining us here on TRT World, Robert. So you must get this a lot, but are the kids asleep?
Yes, they are. Thank you.
Okay, I'll continue. Well, you are in Busan, and the first case has been now reported there. And it's South Korea's second largest city. What is going on?
Yeah, well, I think your reporters covered it pretty well. I mean, if you go out on the streets, it's really quiet. It is a little bit creepy, especially in Daegu, as you said, right? I mean, Daegu really is the hot zone now. It really is the hot spot. Here where I live and in sort of the other cities, I suppose the most notable things are that everyone is now wearing a face mask. Public transportation is pretty empty, and all kinds of public gatherings have been canceled, sort of sporting events and concerts and races and any kind of political gathering. People don't go to church, stuff like that. That's what you really notice is things are just sort of really quiet. People don't go to the store. So like we're ordering food over the internet instead of going to the store.
And how worried are you, and for your family, of course? What kind of precautions are you taking yourself?
Yeah, all that stuff, right, that they tell you. And we're basically sort of doing what the government tells us, right? You know, washing your hands a lot, not going outside. Schools are closed. My university is supposed to begin next Monday. That's obviously not going to happen. It's been pushed back by a couple weeks. My kids' kindergarten has been closed all week. It's going to be closed next week. I have the feeling that if the numbers keep going up, it's probably going to be closed through most of the month of March. I have the feeling my university will be closed too. I wear the mask. You know, we all wear the mask when we go outside. We don't go outside much anymore. We've been watching a lot of television. Pretty standard stuff. But I mean, there's no sort of alarm, right? I mean, I sort of worry a little bit because, you know, everybody sort of watches movies and we get these ideas of people like running through the streets. That's not happening. I would actually say that Korea's responding. Most Koreans are responding quite well. There's no panic. There's no sort of like wild press at the stores and stuff like that. There's no panic buying. Stocks are a little bit low, I suppose, in stores, but you don't see like long lines of people waiting to buy water and things like that. It's not like, you know, I don't know, the Cuban Missile Crisis or something.
Well, it does sound, though, pretty difficult to live with those standards. But does it look like South Korea is losing control over the escalating pandemic, Robert, do you think?
Yeah, I'm a little bit uncomfortable using language that dramatic. It's expanding faster than I think a lot of people had anticipated. I'll put it that way. I don't want to say losing control because Korea's got a really modern medical system. It's got a modern government with deep bureaucratic capability. You know, the government has been doing its best, for example, to find all these people attached to the church, to the sort of cult church where this stuff has really sort of exploded. And it's also worth pointing out that South Korea is sort of constrained in a way that China is not, or North Korea is not. You know, when this thing gets to North Korea, if it does, the North Koreans are going to simply throw these people in a concentration camp and let them expire, right? In South Korea, you can't do that, right? You can't just go to people's homes and stuff like that. You can't go to the church and tell people they can't meet, that they've suddenly lost their right to freedom of expression and religion and things like that. That's one of the reasons why this has spread. South Korea is a liberal society, and there are restrictions on how far the state can go. Now, obviously, those restrictions are going to come down if this thing gets worse and worse. But I think that's one of the reasons why this is worse in South Korea than people anticipated. The state is operating under constraints that China just doesn't face.
Well, thank you very much for joining the show, Robert, and good luck and take care.